Chapter 34. As it turns out, the outside appearance of Chakran was deceiving, for when Ashlyn led her into the house, she found that it was a spacious home complete with a small kitchen, living room, dining area, and bathroom, if you could call it that. It was rudimentary at best, nothing like the bathroom Sierra was used to in the human world. While there was some type of apparatus that flushed using the pull handle, there was a simple bowl and pitcher to operate as a sink and an old-fashioned bathing tub, which would need to be filled manually with pitchers of water. The house also had 3 bedrooms, which Ashlan showed her so she could rest after she used the facilities. As he opened one of the bedroom doors, Sierra's jaw dropped. The room had a large bed in the center, akin to a king size in the human world. It was decked out in a black silk comforter with red sheets peeking through from underneath. The room was lit by what looked like fireflies in jars, though Sierra couldn't be sure from afar. While the room wasn't heavily decorated, there were some green and gold vines painted on the wall here and there to add some color to the brown wood. Sierra immediately noticed a door on the far side of the room, which led to a private bathing chamber. Are all the bedrooms this big? Sierra asked as she headed for the second door in the bathroom.
No, this is the one for the owner of the home. The other 2 are a bit smaller and don't have a private bathing chamber.
Sierra's hand paused where it rested on the door handle. But I don't own this treehouse. Ashlyn's response came at the same time that Sierra opened the door to reveal a closet filled with men's clothes.
I know, but Aidan does.
Sierra was aghast. I thought he lived in the castle with your father. She stepped into the closet, running her hands over the soft fabrics.
He has a room here too, but this is a place where he can come to get away from our father when he needs to. He bought it in secret a few years ago. I've been hiding out here since our father doesn't know about it, when I have to leave my roost at the house from time to time.
Sierra turned from the colorful clothes until her eyes met Ashlan's green ones. Her heart clenched as she wished that they were the green ones of Aidan instead. Are you sure he's okay with me staying in his room? Ashlan smiled.
Of course. If I know Aidan, which I do, there's nowhere else he would rather you stay. Plus, besides my room, there's only one guest room, which Bron and Kay are staying in. So, unless you want to bunk with them.
Ashlan trailed off suggestively, but Sierra could tell by his tone he was kidding. Sierra chuckled. Something about Ashlan's demeanor reminded her of her younger brother, Diego. But before she could delve too deeply into the meaning of those thoughts, which were sure to be painful, she yawned.
Rest a bit. We will meet in the living room in a few hours to discuss how we proceed from here.
Sierra made her way to the large bed as Ashlan slipped out the door, closing it behind himself. As she peeled back the covers and got comfy, she sighed in contentment. The bed was so soft and comfortable, it felt like she was being tucked into a cloud. Before she could follow that thought further, she drifted off into a dreamless sleep. Sierra awoke hours later from a dead sleep, groggy and unsure of where she was. As she lay in the plush red bed, looking at the room around her in confusion, it took quite a few minutes for the events of the night before to come back to her. Once they did, she sat up slowly in bed, grimacing as she realized she was still in the white dress and she had laid in Aoden's pristine bed without even removing it. She would have to offer to wash the sheets before they departed. Rising from the soft and silken sheets, Sierra noticed some clothing laid out on the end of the bed. The clothing wasn't large enough to be Aoden's, and it looked too large to belong to another woman of her size. Willing to do anything to get out of the white dress, Sierra stripped down, sliding the leggings up her legs and pulling the jacket top over the top of her body. It didn't exactly fit, but at least she would be able to move more easily than she had the night before. Walking over to the window, which was covered with a dark curtain, Sierra slid it open slowly, her eyes meeting the dim light of sunset. She had slept the whole day away. She stood there for a few moments longer, willing the stress of the past few days to leave her muscles, but of course it was useless. She wouldn't truly be able to relax until she saw Aiden again and was able to sort out exactly what had happened. It would also help if she was out of the danger of being captured by Conlon. Sadly, she had no idea when that would be. Admiring the golden glow of the sunset over the trees, she remembered the time and her task and readied herself to join the others in the main room to see how the planning had turned out, since she was pretty sure she had missed it at this point. Opening the door, she found Braun, Kay, and Ashlan huddled around a small wooden table, arguing in hushed voices. The moment the door creaked open, Braun and Ashlan paused, their Fae hearing clearly coming in handy.
Good morning, or should I say, evening.
Ashlan offered, motioning for Sierra to join them around the table. Sorry, I guess I was more tired than I thought. She apologized sheepishly. Kay waved her hand in the air. Don't worry about it. We only got moving about an hour ago. Trapezing through the forest all night will do that to you. Sierra approached the table to find a colorful map spread out over the surface. Her eyes widened at all the names of the unfamiliar towns and territories. She was much larger than she anticipated. Her eyes searched the surface of the map, but nothing familiar came into focus. Where are we?
Here.
Ashlan pointed to the far right side of the map, colored green with foliage.
Even in Chikron is one of the best-kept secrets, so you won't find it on many maps.
Sierra nodded. Is it still in Fuinchog?
Partially, but some of the buildings are in Fuinen territory, and others in Shkachial.
He pointed to an area in the forest.
The borderline between the three territories is in the forest below Chakran.
Braun clarified.
Which is good for us, because the specialty prison is in Shkachial.
Sierra looked at Ashlan. But I thought you said Aiden would be in the regular prison.
That's where we're currently disagreeing about. I think Aiden is in Quillen, at the main prison there.
Ashlan pointed to a large town on the coast.
But Braun is pretty sure he's in Shkachial.
Is there any way to know for sure? She asked, hopefully. Ashlan shook his head.
No, that's the problem. Basically, we have a 50-50 chance, and we don't want to waste time by going to the wrong one. My vote is that we go to Shkachial, since it's only half a day from here.
Braun said.
But if he's in Quillen, and we get caught at Shkachial, we won't be able to rescue him at all until we figure out how to get ourselves out of the strongest prison in Shi.
So, just to make sure I'm following, Aiden could be in either prison, but Skiogial is closer to our location, but also more dangerous, meaning if we fail, we're all screwed. But if we check Quillen first, and he isn't there, we've wasted time and energy on the 2 days it takes to travel there from here. Kay pointed at each location as she mentioned it before raising her eyes to meet Sierra's. And splitting up isn't an option? Ashlan shook his head.
We need all 4 of us to even have a chance at Shkachial. But it is possible that 2 people could likely be successful at Quillen.
I don't get it, Sierra interjected. What makes Skiogial such a big deal both for prisoners and for us to break someone out? All 3 sets of eyes in the room came to rest on her.
Quillen is a basic Fae prison, similar to the one I broke you out of. It is run by the Fae and human servants who are easy to outmaneuver and manipulate.
Ashlan explained.
Shkachial is run by Typhon.
Who's Typhon? Sierra asked. Ashlan shook his head a second time.
Don't they teach you anything in the human world? Typhon is a child of Gaia, also known as the father of all monsters. He's a snake and human shifter. He also has many dragons in his employ, guarding the prison. They're faster than Fae, often smarter, and they breathe fire. Typhon is often rumored to be more snake than human, slithering himself into places where he doesn't belong. And in the past few years, there have been several instances where he took prisoners just because he wanted to. and most of them were never seen again.
Sierra's eyes grew wide, and she hastily looked back at the map. And you think we truly have a chance to break Aoden out if he is there?
Well, everyone has to have their weakness, right?
Braun said, pointedly at Sierra. Okay, and what's Typhon's weakness?
Humans.
Ashlyn said pointedly.
Imagine being one of the only human creature shifters in She. Supposedly, Typhon is a true immortal, unlike the Fae, and he's been living in the mountains since the beginning of time. He has gotten lonely, and human visitors are the only ones allowed in his cart without an invitation.
Oh. The room was quiet as Sierra absorbed the knowledge. So I have to go to Skiakial then?
Yes,
Ashlyn confirmed.
but Aiden would kill me if he knew I sent you there alone, so Kay has to go as well. She is dangerous for humans without Fae protection. And where Kay goes, I go.
Ron cut in.
And now you see how we came to the conclusion that we can't split up.
Sierra turned from the table to observe the last of the sun's golden rays sinking behind the edge of the sea of trees. She turned their predicament over in her mind a few times, coming to her own conclusion before turning back to the group. I know where we should go,